What is up, guys? Welcome back to our newly named podcast, Nonsense Review. I'm Devon, and joining me once again this week is Rick. Do you want to introduce yourself, Rick?
Hello, I am once again Rick, and for the first time, we can introduce ourselves as the Nonsense Review.
Yeah. So we're going to switch things up a bit this week, because I thought a fun little thing to do, seeing as this podcast is going to be weekly, is just to go through a brief summary of what we've actually been doing throughout the week, because fuck it, why not, eh? With me, I've been doing my usual nonsense. Haha, see, I managed to tie it all together. Playing video games, watching various things. I've been spending most of my time playing Hades, because man, that game is addictive. But that's been the bulk of my time. I've been taking a break from most of my normal video game shenanigans like 14, etc. I'm going to throw it over to you, Rick.
Yeah, I've been mostly doing very little. I've been down the HoloLive rabbit hole, as I am most weeks. The thing that actually has happened is that Bravely Default 2 came out today, so that's what I'm going to be doing later.
Oh, fuck, I didn't even know that.
Yep, it was actually Aizawa that brought it up to me when it was revealed at Nintendo Direct, I think last year, and a lot of people lost their collective shit, as it were.
If I remember rightly, it was something that people wanted more of, but were damn near convinced they weren't ever going to get a sequel to it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's essentially a spiritual successor to Final Fantasy V, which is my favourite by far.
Man, I need to go back and play that. Like, I bought the Steam version and it doesn't run well.
Yeah, fair enough. I can believe that. I don't know if the Steam version is based on the Game Boy Advance version, because the Game Boy Advance version is pretty good. It's not got the best graphics because it's not quite as sharp because of the resolution on the GBA, but it's got some extra content. It's got the Corsair class, it's got a Necromancer class. Just things that you didn't have in the original SNES version.
Yeah, but I'm firmly of the belief that if your art style is 2D, fuck graphics, what's your gameplay?
True.
Like, obviously, I want your art to be pretty, but it doesn't have to be pretty 100% of the game, like when you're actually in-game, like fucking Disgaea rules.
Yeah.
Anything else happen this week for you, or is that pretty much it?
That's pretty much it. We've done a bit of babysitting for our socially bubbled family.
Right.
Actually, that would have been last week, wouldn't it? It was Pancake Day last week, wasn't it?
But no, Pancake Day happened this week, didn't it? 18th.
Okay, might have been that one then.
Was it the 18th? Fuck, I don't know. I don't pay attention to that fucking holiday. All I remember is turning up to work and my colleague going, "Did you know it was Pancake Day today?" And I went, "No." "Oh, well, we're out of pancakes." I'm like, "Cool, thanks, good to know." That's how I knew it was Pancake Day. So it must have been this week, because that was when I came back into work.
How does a supermarket run out of pancakes? Like, surely pancakes are a creation rather than a stock item. Like,
No. In my shop, we've got ready-made pancakes in the fridge and ready-made pancakes in the bread aisle. I can't imagine they taste nice, but they're clearly last-minute items for people who fucking forgot on Pancake Day.
Oh yeah, those American-style ones that you get like bits of chocolate or raisins in.
Yeah, except in our shop they're just plain.
Yeah.
They look vile, my dude. I wouldn't eat it.
Yeah, they're a bit leathery.
They look leathery. They feel leathery. Like, confession time. I work in a supermarket. There's a lot of food items that I've never touched in my life, and if they've got a packet where you can kind of feel the thing through, I'm going to go like, fuck it, I have to check this item anyway. I'm going to feel what it feels like through the packet. And some things do not feel good. I don't know if that's picking up on the microphone, but my dogs are barking and I can only apologise. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's getting picked up, but it's fine.
Okay, well, hopefully it'll get fixed in post. I don't know how good I am at removing certain things yet. But yeah, hey ho, diddly do. What are we doing this week, Rick?
We are taking a blast to the past from both of us. That I started watching it with my niece and continued because it was endearing. We're watching a semi-random episode of My Little Pony.
Add the suffix.
Friendship is magic.
There we go. We don't want people to get confused with that really bad cartoon from the 90s, or was it the 80s? I don't know.
I think I think Gen 1 was the 80s. I think the original movie is pretty well received, even outside of the target demographic of 8-year-old girls.
Well, I can't speak for the content, as in what it actually, what the storylines or what the characters are like. I'm just saying, from an artistic point of view, I did not like the look of the old school My Little Ponies. They look unsettling.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But
because they look too much like real fucking horses, but they were weird colours.
Yeah.
It didn't compute. My brain was like, what is this monstrosity? Kill it now. Except I wouldn't have been like that because I would have been 10, but hey-o.
They hadn't settled on a design aspect of something cute to sell rather than something that looked like the thing it was meant to look like. So they were essentially dueling with Transformers, which very definitely did look like the cars they were meant to look like.
Oh, fuck me, Transformers. Oh. That's a whole nother discussion. Let's not railroad it, pull it away from where we're going. I could have just ranted and raved about Beast Wars, but we'll move on. So yeah, semi-random. Do you want to give a brief overview? Because I assume you've seen this episode, whereas I've actually not.
I have. This one is going to be episode 100, and it's a love letter to the fans, apparently. The periphery demographic that sprung up around the show. Some of them call themselves Bronies, some of them try to distance themselves from the name because of the connotations that arose afterwards.
Yeah, we're looking at you, Cloppers.
Yep.
If you know what that means, then I can only apologise. If you don't know what that means, preserve your fucking innocence and don't Google it.
Yeah, that's about as correct as a statement as I can come up with.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, shall we crack on then, I suppose?
Yeah, sure.
Right, I'm watching this on Netflix. I assume Rick is as well.
I am as well, yeah.
We are both on 0.00. I'm ready to press play. I'm going to wait for Rick's countdown, and then we can all watch together.
Yeah. 3, 2, 1, and play.
There we go. It is now playing. Goodness, that is loud. Oh, isn't this that fucking really sad old donkey? No, never mind.
Yep. It is, but it's after the episode in which he's no longer sad.
Oh, I don't remember him getting a ball of quiff. Oh, I need to turn this down. There we go. Now I can hear you and the cartoon, Rick. Oh, he's found love.
Yeah, he's got his mule waifu. Yeah, he's the cranky doodle donkey.
Didn't Pinkie Pie spend the whole episode trying to cheer him up? Was that?
Yeah, so in his immediate his first episode, it's all about how Pinkie Pie tries to befriend everyone because she's Pinkie Pie.
Yeah.
And he's the one person that wants to resist. And the whole episode is about wearing him down via attrition. And
oh, Derpy! With muffins, what the fuck? I thought they tried to distance themselves from that meme.
Good old muffins.
Dude, this is another instance of I've got a real soft spot for this fucking intro.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember people getting super excited when they changed up the intro between season 1 and 2.
They didn't change it
and
that
all
much,
they
did
did was pretty much all they did was pretty much they added a woo to when Rainbow Dash comes along in the opening.
Huh. Rick, you lied to me. You said there was no main ponies. Wait, is there going to be another episode either after or before where we find out why the fuck Twilight was dashing in such a fucking hurry there?
Nope.
No? So that's just...
That's the joke.
Okay, fair enough then. That's actually pretty good.
Yeah, they're doing something in the background.
That's awesome. That's actually great. I love it.
Yeah, Dr. Hooves.
Oh, he's even got a weird British accent.
Yep.
So is he actually canonically like a fucking Time Lord now then?
Apparently.
Because I thought that was just a dumb gag the community made.
It's one of those things that they flip-flop between the gag and the truth.
Right. It's one of those weird things because it's kind of giving off like a crazy Doc Brown vibe as well. Or is that just me?
I think he's trying to evoke every
Scientist
mad
trope.
scientist.
Right.
Yeah.
Dude, do you remember that one episode where you had the background ponies that were just the big Lebowski's buddies?
Yes.
That was fucking... someone pointed it out to me back when it aired, and it was fucking surreal.
One of them's randomly really tall in that episode, as far as I remember.
Oh, I can't remember that exact... Oh,
it's the DJ.
What is her name? Because canonically it's either DJ Pon3 or it's Vinyl Scratch, and I don't know which one's actually real. And which one's the Brony
I think
name.
both of them are real. I think Vinyl Scratch is what Hasbro calls her when they're trying to sell merchandise.
Right.
And,
Sorry, does she have magical dubstep vision just then?
yes.
Fucking A.
She's got magical dubstep vision, and she's potentially deaf.
Right, well, it makes sense if she's got that fucking music blaring 24/7.
Yep.
Are we going to see the ponies I just mentioned?
Maybe.
We're at the bowling alley.
Yep.
Fucking A. Oh, Jesus Christ. I like how they couldn't get Steve Buscemi's look just right on a pony.
I mean...
Yeah, I know.
It'd be kind of...
Disturbing?
disturbing if they could, yeah.
They didn't have an actual Big Lebowski in the background episode, but they do now, and I appreciate that. That reference is only for adults.
Yep. Man, I've only seen that movie once, but...
I've never seen the fucking film. I've only seen clips.
It's definitely worth watching.
Oh, I have no doubt. Maybe we can do it for this podcast down the line.
Maybe so, maybe so. It's a bit longer than our usual choice, but absolutely something that we can do.
I would absolutely love to branch out into movies every so often. Like, not make it regular, but every so often.
I'll try your straight technique.
I don't know why it's tickling me that the main characters are just off to the side and everyone's just like, what the fuck are they going to do?
Yep. Just the entire cast just off to one side.
Mm-hmm.
And the entire town just going, do you know what they're up to? Nah.
Are Big Mac and Shirley a thing again? Or did that ever get retouched? Or what the fuck is this thing? Right, the threat they're fighting off screen. Got you. Never mind. Sorry, go
on. They were, and then they weren't, and they eventually do settle on Big Mac settling down with someone else.
Who?
It's someone who's introduced in the episode where it's resolved.
Oh, okay.
I forget the damn pony's name. It's not Cheerilee, which is...
Like, the only two characters I've seen him interested in random episodes was Cheerilee, and for some reason, I don't know if this was actually in an episode or if it was in someone's weird fucking over-analysis, because I browse weird subreddits. Pinkie Pie's cousin, or sister. That's the one who's all dour and depressed and really interested in rocks.
Oh, Maud. Yeah, Maud ends up married to someone else.
Ah, fair enough then.
Yeah, Maud ends up married to someone who's a very thinly veiled reference to autism.
Ah. Fair enough. I've never seen these ponies before. But I assume they've always been in the background, and I've just not noticed.
Yeah, I believe those three were background ponies right from the beginning.
Is it normal for them to have two cutie marks that are the exact... Oh, no, they're not exactly the same. Ignore me. That feels like a piss take at, what's her name? Reverend Lovejoy's missus.
Yep, the horror.
That's... I swear to fucking Christ, the community swears these two are a couple.
Yep, Bonbon and Lyra.
Mm-hmm. I love this casual bitching at, look at this bollocks that the main six keep having to do. This ain't real, is it?
Yep.
Really?
Man, sorry, I'm just listening to it because it's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous, and I can't tell if it's meant to be taken seriously or not.
I mean, it both is and isn't.
Okay.
Gets a little real.
Does. It's also one of the most generic fucking spy thing tropes that exists. Oh, they are totally in a relationship, right?
I mean, if they're not, then...
Like, Hasbro's cool, but they're not quite so cool as to actually allow an active lesbian relationship to happen, even in the background of a show.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't even know what he's playing for, because I kind of missed this plot point. I was too busy freaking out over how it's literally the Big Lebowski.
Like, I think he just, he's trying to get them to, alter his suit or something.
Ah. Yeah, that sounds right. He did try and find Rarity, but she was busy with the bugbear. And she's gone. Everyone seems to know what this creature is.
Yep. Like, until they brought up the name, I forgot that it was meant to be a bugbear. But obviously, it being a massive fucking wasp that's got the body of a bear.
Super makes sense. It's just... Jesus Christ. I vaguely remember this creature.
Yeah.
But I can't remember how... or where from.
He's from the very first episode.
He was in the first episode.
Yeah, the very, very first episode.
So I'm not crazy when I say I recognise him. Oh, jeez. Do you know what I've actually been watching recently in the background of while doing other things? Is Queer Eye.
Okay.
And my god, he is acting like those five very cheerful gentlemen. He's giving off that very flamboyantly gay vibe, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, even the name Stephen Magnet is from an early gag where YouTube's automatic captioning just came up with the subtitle of Stephen Magnet while he was on screen at one point.
Well, and they decided, fuck it, that's funny.
Yeah. This was back when the auto captioning was incredibly jank.
Yeah, it's still already a bit, not great.
At least it comes up with words these days.
True. Oh, and he's a cunt as well, isn't he?
Yeah.
What's this one's name? It's like Olivia, isn't it?
Octavia.
Octavia. Fuck, I was close. I don't think I've ever heard her speak before. I never understood why these two lived together if they couldn't stand each other's musical styles to this degree.
I know, right?
Are we going to get a musical duel? Because I always dig that type of shit.
Yeah, it's a combo of a duel and a duel and a mashup.
Right. You've played Helltaker, haven't you?
I haven't still.
Oh, okay. Well, this is going to mean nothing to you, but it might mean something to someone listening. But I'm getting such Justice vibes from DJ Pon 3. And it might be 90% the glasses, but
Fair. Is Justice one of the angels?
No. She's a demon.
Okay.
The only angel who gets a name in that game is Azazel.
Okay.
All the others are unnamed, although it's probably safe to assume that the lead angel up top is Michelangelo. Michael even, not a fucking... he's not a Teenage Mutant fucking Ninja Turtle. Jesus. Like, most of my knowledge of angel names is because of fucking, would you believe it, SMT?
Yeah, absolutely. Especially the
four important ones.
Yeah, the important ones like the Metatron and all that. Like, if it weren't for Shin Megami Tensei, I would not know about the Metatron.
The thing I love most about Metatron is if someone said that to you randomly, you'd be like, that's a Transformer, not a goddamn ancient god king.
Yep. The voice of God that was created because God kept exploding people's heads when he spoke to them directly.
Yeah, not great.
And even that's a
Sorry,
a
can I
plot point from...
Can I just give a shout out as the fact they did a little bit of Flight of the Bumblebee just then?
Yeah.
But yeah, go on, sorry.
Yeah, even that's a plot point that gets referenced in what's the show? It gets referenced in Good Omens, and I think it gets referenced in Dogma as well.
I've not seen either of these.
I really enjoyed Good Omens as a book.
Sorry. What the fuck? Is this Gummies in a monologue?
Yep. What is life?
Or is this some dude talking and that's going to be the joke?
Apologies to the listeners, this is just a really funny...
Was that the gag? Because that was surprisingly dark. Not even dark, just a bit too real for a kid's show. What the fuck is Celestia and Luna doing at a fucking random wedding?
They were invited.
But this is just a story like when the Queen got invited to a wedding and then she decided to just randomly fucking turn up.
I think so.
That's adorable.
Yeah.
So they're going to go off at some point, right?
They gotta go off.
Hug. Innit?
And she sat like a normal person as well.
Well, that's the fucking Bronies conspiracy theory, is that she's a conspiracy theorist about humans being real.
Yeah.
And that's why she sits like that. And she freaks out if she ever sees a human, which obviously never happens in the show, but there's some funny bloody fan comics involving it. Gay.
Cool. The other one behind him has just stood on the chair.
Yep. I mean, even the fucking princesses are. Also, I could have sworn Celestia was much bigger than this.
It's, your size may vary for the sake of the gag.
Right.
Oh.
Shut the fuck up. Really?
I know, right?
Like, I don't watch Doctor Who, but even I know that's a Doctor Who catchphrase.
Yep. Yeah. I like how that's like a little reference to the episode 1 where the way they get past him is by Rarity cutting off her tail to repair his mustache.
Aww. Ha 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 ha! Yeah, cool, great, awesome. Oh, that tickled me, that one.
Yep.
Oh my days, that's the fucking buff Pegasus.
Yep. Forget his name, but he keeps showing up as a background guy.
If I recall, the first episode he's in is when they're trying to make that fucking whirlwind thing. And everyone's doing their part, and it's the gag where Fluttershy can't quite do it, but even he's getting involved, and the joke being that he's super ripped, but he's actually super shit when it comes to flying. Because his wings are so tiny.
Because his wings are like the size of butterfly wings.
Yeah. Is that a fucking changeling?
Yeah.
Are they cool now, then?
They're approaching it.
Right, okay.
I think that's particularly the one that's meant to be cool, and then it's kind of like the catalyst for the entire race getting redeemed.
Right, okay.
I know there's a episode later on where, apart from the Queen, the entire race just metamorphosizes.
Oh, okay. Oh, they're going to go off. But they went off in a good way. Very good, very good.
Yep.
I guess you've never had true love in your life, Dr. Hooves.
Yep.
Are they going to get even a line? Oh, they do. Man, it's been a while since I've watched this, and I forgot that's what Twilight sounded like.
Yep.
Who's she played by? Laura Bailey or something?
It's,
Not Laura Bailey, fuck. Tara Strong, there we go. Oh, no, I don't want to watch the next episode, fuck off. I've turned the episode off, guys, because we reached credits, and I didn't want to roll over to the next one, because, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, Tara Strong, who voices, like, 2/3 of young boys in Western cartoons these days, so it seems.
Yeah. I feel like she voices a lot of characters full stop, really, doesn't she?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Who's the one who plays Harley Quinn?
Oh, that's Kaylee Cuoco is the new one.
No, I'm talking about the older one.
Oh, is it going to be Tippy Tap time?
Oh, no, don't worry about it.
We'll skip the Tippy Tap for now.
Rise from Persona 4. Who voiced her?
Oh, Rise is Laura Bailey.
Right, cool, because that's who I'm thinking of, because I remember when I played Persona 4 last, because I don't really pay attention to voice actors and actors that much, boys and girls. I said, I swear I remember hearing this voice before, but I can't tell where, and I couldn't be asked to Google it because I wasn't that invested. And I vaguely remember you telling me at some point, just imagine her saying pudding a lot. And I was like, okay, so that's what it is. That's where I've heard that fucker from.
Laura Bailey is one of my favourites. She's got such a range, all the way from Raspberry to Lust.
Jesus, did she voice Lust?
Yeah.
I would never have put that up.
In Full Metal Botanist.
I mean, I assume that's what you were referring to, but then again, I suppose there's many characters in many forms of media called Lust.
Yep, and her husband is the guy that voiced Roy Mustang, so Mustang and Lust.
And you see, I knew that because buddy of ours likes a show called Critical Role, and he likes to bring up that certain fact every so often. But yes,
it was great the first time. No, it wasn't. Maybe not the first time, but one of the times they showed up together on a panel at a con. He just stands up and just really smugly goes, "Yeah, Mustang married Lust."
I mean, fair enough. Oh goodness. Do you know what? I bet you that revelation led to many, many, many fan fictions. Somehow managing to justify in universe an unjustifiable relationship.
And it also doesn't hurt that they're pretty much nemesis in the original, and it's actually Mustang that actually gets rid of Lust in the end in the manga, at least, and I assume in Brotherhood because it follows the manga.
Right, cool, yeah, because I've only seen Brotherhood, and in Brotherhood he fucking burns that bitch to a crisp.
Yep. In fact, I think he's the one that reveals that you can wear out a homunculus by getting rid of all of their souls worth of regenerations.
Dude, that scene's brutal. Like, fuck. Every time she makes the talk, he just clicks his fingers again. It's such a fucking justice boner in that moment.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think up until that point, because I've watched this show a while ago now, up until that point, it felt like the good guys hadn't had a win yet.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, they might have won a fight, but their prize was, I get to live another day, not, we beat one of them.
I think the only homunculus that had died until then was Greed. And even then, he was done in by the baddies.
Are you talking about the one with the tongue?
I think that's Gluttony, isn't it?
I can't remember Greed, that's the problem.
Okay, so Greed is the rebellious one with...
Is he the one who ends up taking over the prince's body?
Yes.
Right, yeah, cool, gotcha.
The prince is Greed version 2.
Yeah, gotcha.
Greed version 1 is so greedy he wants to have his own empire and not, like, be part of Father's empire.
Yeah.
So he, like, strikes out on his own, has his own little underlings, and even though it's kind of like his own little empire, he actually does care for his little underlings, and it makes him a little bit more sympathetic.
Mm-hmm.
Let's put it that way. And it also is a call forward to when Ed can actually work with Greedling.
Right, yeah. Here's the problem with greed and gluttony, and it's the same problem that we have with jealousy and envy, in that the emotions are so similar. Or not emotions, sins, I suppose, are so similar, it's very easy to get them confused.
Yeah, there's so many sins that are just want.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a very human, just like, desire that is required for survival, let's put it that way.
let's not go too heavy into this, eh? This is meant to be a nonsense review, not a deep philosophical talk review.
I mean, deep philosophy is nonsense.
No.
That's the whole point.
No, let's not discredit an entire field, shall we? Nah, fuck it, let's do it. Bury him. But yes, the episode ended about 5 minutes ago, and we just went straight into a tirade about Full Metal Brotherhood. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, even.
Which might be a call forward to a future episode, let's put it that way.
I think if we're going to do a Full Metal Alchemist thing, I think it might be fun to have that be one of the movies we do, and have it be the live-action one, just to dick people over.
Man. Oh yeah, and there's also the movie from the first season, where it's like a post-game last hurrah, as like a goodbye to that entire Gaiden arc, where after Greed, the entire first anime was like pretty much entirely original generation.
Well, if I remember correctly, the manga didn't have enough content at the time.
Correct. So they took some ideas, some of which turned out to be true, and some of which were abandoned.
Right, of course.
And made an entire season out of it.
It's not the worst thing to do. But like,
yeah,
it didn't...
it's a pretty common thing in anime. They call it, I think they call it the Gecko series.
I mean, I'm gonna turn to something a bit more recent, and still, people feel the sting. Game of Thrones had to do a relatively similar thing, and you couldn't pinpoint the exact moment where they ran out of George's material, and that was the end of season 4. But me, being the optimistic soul that I am, was like, I'm going to keep watching this. It can't be that bad. It won't be that bad. Let's go. And I every time I'd do the same thing. I'd watch the episode, I'd go on Reddit and see people's reactions, and it'd be like, oh, well, they didn't do this plotline in the book, and they didn't do that plotline in the book, and me, being the optimistic, innocent soul that I was like, yeah, but this plotline could go any manner of ways, so it makes sense why they dropped it. They don't want to introduce new characters in season fucking 5, so they probably dropped this entire plot point, done this. They've clearly rolled these characters into one, and then it got to season 7, and I was truly starting to join the crowd of bitter fans being like, oh, this is just trash, but I've wasted fucking 7 years of my life at this point. Might as well see how it fucking ends. And then season 8 was a fucking shit show, and I can't think of many people who defend that these days.
Yeah. I've seen entirely one episode of Game of Thrones, and it was the last one.
Why would you... What? Why?
It was literally a car crash, and I couldn't look away.
But you have no context for the car crash. You didn't see the highs that made people so disappointed by the lows.
The only thing that was really weird to me was Bran at the end.
They rushed shit. D&D wanted to go and do Star Wars, so they rushed.
Yeah.
They rushed the ending of Game of Thrones, which made certain things make no sense. Bran sitting on the throne can work, and I'm convinced that that's how, because that's what the show did, and George has said many a times that the only people in the world who knew how his books were going to roughly end were himself and D&D. So I have no doubt in my mind that Bran Stark is going to end up on the throne in the books. But I imagine George is not going to suddenly pull something out of his ass and be like, who's got a better story? This fucking kid. Fuck it, he's in charge now. Yeah. The 7 kingdoms are all being separated and divvied up. Because reasons, I guess. Like, the way they ended it in the show, like, in about, I give it like 2 months in universe, there's going to be more wars again.
Oh, absolutely.
Which, it's not a fucking ending. Fucking Jon Snow shouldn't have lived. If they weren't gonna... I'm gonna go on a slight tirade because fuck it, it's been brought up now. Why in God's name would a magical MacGuffin god person bring a character back to life for the sole purpose of making his sister smile for 2 seconds?
I mean...
No. He got brought back to life because he should have at least fought the fucking Night King instead of just stand there like a prick.
Yeah, fair enough.
It's just, there's a lot of things, like, they were doing it more and more often as the series progressed, but there was a lot of things they clearly did for the sole fucking reason that they wanted it to not be expected.
Didn't they just, like, throw Maisie Williams at the Night King just because, like, no one was expecting Maisie Williams to be interesting?
No one was expecting Arya Stark to be the one to kill the Night King because there was no fucking evidence. They pulled out a line from, like, 5 seasons ago saying, oh, I said this. And it's like, no, you fucking didn't. That's not what you meant. Fuck. The problem with doing something unexpected for the sake of it being unexpected is it's not clever. It's not good. It just makes people go, well, why the fuck did that happen? Doesn't make any sense.
It's like riddles. I hate riddles. Because, like, if you're not on the exact, like, borderline autistic brainwave that the person writing the riddle was on, you're never gonna get the answer.
You mean like that time you did that quiz with the fucking say what you see, but you didn't do it the way everyone expected you to do it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you fucking donut.
So many people wanted to punch me. It was great. It was, I could just, like, I could drink the tears.
Well, my favourite part was like when we got to question 3 and I finally saw the answer as soon as I saw it and I went, oh, that's what you mean. Oh, you've done this in the most arse-backwards way possible.
Yep.
But yeah.
Man, Emery did really well on those.
Dude, I remember, because I managed to get 5 out of 8, and because Emery was playing catch-up, my exact words to Emery were, if you manage to match my score or do better, then that means you're retarded in the exact same way I am. Which is true. Like, if you manage to get the same score as me or better, that means you're stupid, like me. Sorry. I should probably add the note. I know retarded doesn't mean stupid, it means an actual medical condition. Don't jump down my fucking throat. It's a word.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, but sometimes I forget I'm not just talking to you and this is being recorded. And I know there's some sensitive people out there who don't like words because, I don't know, they never went to public school.
Well, you know.
If you went to public school, let's be honest, words ain't gonna do much to you.
I mean...
Yeah, go on.
They might actually do more because they crack down on physical bullying a lot more readily at public school.
Okay, but my point being that, hey, guess what? You get ridiculed constantly for random bullshit in public school.
Oh, yeah. We had... there was an epithet of the gayest boy in school.
Okay, do you want to talk about some dumb shit? Because I distinctly remember there was, on the way to the dining hall... I say dining hall. Canteen. I'm not saying this isn't fucking America. And it certainly weren't a private school, it was public as shit. We went to the cafeteria, and there was a little small fucking patch carpet just as you walk in, which was dubbed the gay mat. If you touch this mat, you are now gay. This is the fuckwit logic of children, and...
If you touch the mat, you're gay.
Yeah.
At any point during your life.
Yeah. And because, well, like, spoiler alert, I was in school in the 90s. Gay was still very much a thing you didn't want to be back then.
Yeah.
As some people would argue, you don't want to be public about it now because there's still dickheads in the world. But hey ho, diddly do.
Yeah. It's just a standard catch-all insult back when people didn't realise that, wait a minute, being gay means I can shag my best friend, and, you know...
Weird way of taking it, but yeah, it's one of those things where, I don't know why, but gay's always been dubbed sort of as an insult, but it's really not, it's just a statement of fact.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yes, should we talk about the show we just watched about 20 minutes ago?
Oh yeah, Colourful Horses.
If you want to talk about shit that's clearly gay, it reminds me of my favourite Bill Burr joke, right? No, wait, was it Bill?
Yeah.
It might have been Joe Rogan. Where he said he was watching wrestling with his buddy. Now, I'm a wrestling fan, by the way, guys, in case you didn't know. And he went, yeah, wrestling's cool. It's kind of gay. And his friend went a bit ballistic, going, it's not gay, blah, 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 blah. It went off on I can't remember the exact words of the joke. And Joe Rogan, I'm going to assume it was Joe Rogan and not Bill Burr, was just like, okay, but like, gay's not a bad thing. I'm just stating a fact. If they were dressed in just their pants anywhere other than a wrestling ring while grappling with each other, you'd probably go, yeah, that's gay. It's not insulting the damn thing. It's just like, yeah, this is quite a homoerotic thing if you take it out of the specific place that it is currently being performed in.
Yeah. Yeah, when you think about it. I mean, a lot of sports goes that way, to be honest.
Any sports that is predominantly male-muscled men can be described as gay.
Yeah, any contact sport even.
It's one of those weird things where I think like the more clothes you wear, the less gay it becomes. Boy, we've gone on a bit of a tirade here.
So after that moment when we started saying, yeah, let's go back to talking about the show, we
Yeah. Let's talk about colourful horses.
Yeah, colourful horses. I liked this episode. I remember watching it when it was brand new, and yeah, like I say, it was a love letter to the periphery demographic. So a lot of the people that appear in, I say people, a lot of the horses and non-horse characters that appear in this show, in this episode, are background ponies and bit characters from previous episodes. So they're there to reward the long-term viewers, as you might expect from something that's essentially, well, it's not even essentially, it's literally level episode 100.
It's certainly fun, and it doesn't just bring the side characters into the spotlight. It's I'm gonna try and word this very well, but I'm sure it will fall flat on its ass. It does a good job of completely flipping the script in literally the main characters are the side characters here.
Yeah, absolutely. It brings the side characters to the forefront, makes the side stories the forefront, and like you say, pushes the main characters to the background.
Can we just talk about appreciate for a minute rather? The design for the bugbear was pretty interesting, even though we only saw it for 2 seconds.
Yeah, so like I forgot that its name was the bugbear, like I said during the episode, and like immediately, as soon as they mentioned its name, oh yeah,
it's a shit pun.
He's a big old waspy bear.
Do you want to go back to gay shit? Because waspy bear sounds like it might be a term for a gay man.
I mean,
we know what bear means. How can we make
you
waspy?
Know what waspy means?
I don't know what waspy means. I didn't know it actually meant a thing.
It means having a big arse.
So a hairy man with a big arse. Oh, that's great. Oh.
Yeah, it means having like disproportionately thick thighs.
Right, I didn't know that. Learn something new every day, folks. I think we've probably spoken for long enough, but before we go, let's ask a bit of an interesting question. Favourite side character from My Little Pony? Go.
I'm going to show my true colours and just say it's got to be Derpy.
Yeah? You like Derpy Hooves?
Yeah, like, I really enjoyed, like, looking for her little cameos in, like, Season 2 onwards, because that's when the showrunners were like, yeah, people like this one. Let's keep popping her in everywhere.
Isn't her official name like Ditsy Doo or something?
Yeah, so her, the name that she got given in Season 1 was Ditsy Doo, but it wasn't necessarily attached to her, but it probably was.
Right.
And then Lauren Faust just goes, yeah, she can be Derpy if everyone likes. And
what season was it where she went, I just don't know what went wrong in that slightly derpy voice, and then the internet threw a bitch fit?
I think that was Season 4?
I don't think it was, because I don't think I was actively watching back then.
It's the one with the cherries, as far as I remember.
I just remember them fixing a building at the beginning.
Yeah.
And I think Rainbow Dash straight up says Derpy.
Yeah. So, in the original, she says Derpy, and then they have to re-record it with a different voice actress.
That's weird.
Yeah, so they re-record Derpy's bit from going, I just don't know what went wrong. See, I just don't know what went wrong.
I prefer the normal voice personally, but I can understand why people find the slightly derpier voice endearing, especially when it sounds less like Homer fucking Simpson, Rick.
Yep. I mean, if you hear the two originals, then yeah, they're pretty close. Yeah, it was voiced. The original one that was a little bit more slow was voiced by a Rarity's voice actress who does like 2/3 of the background ponies.
Well, she's you might call her a workhorse.
Yes.
But yeah, if we're talking about background ponies, my personal favourite is it's a toss-up between either Big Mac, because he's in so many episodes, he kind of borders on secondary character as opposed to side character. I know what I'm trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
If we have to eliminate Big Mac from the running, then I quite like the cakes.
Sure.
I think they're cute.
Yeah. Plus, I think Mrs. Cake is the only chubby pony.
She might be. Can't think of many. Most of them have, especially Earth ponies, are quite athletic in build.
Yeah, they've got the generic shape.
But it also makes sense. Like, she's a baker and bakes cakes mostly, so of course she's going to be a little bit chubby.
Yeah, absolutely.
Also, she's a mother. We all know how baby fat's hard to get rid of. Well, it's not baby fat when it's the mother, but you know what I mean, right? The baby weight.
Yeah, but it's the baby weight, and but she was already that shape before she had the kids.
Sure. I'm just trying to further justify it.
She was ready for it.
Oh, yeah.
That's the most misogynistic thing I'm going to say all week, hopefully.
Oh, well, like, you did have to follow up fucking Raging Bull Dyke from last week.
I didn't say she was a raging bull dyke.
No, but that's how I heard it. Do you know what I mean? You know when you hear a certain phrase and you're like, you add to it and you're like, no, that's what they said, even if it wasn't. I'm going to have to go back to that episode because I swear there might have been a raging in there. It's either the word raging or the word big. One of the two.
I think the word is absolutely.
It might be. Now, if my editing skills are up to snuff, then I'll go backwards, take a snippet from the old podcast and put it in right here. But otherwise, disregard everything I just said. We'll see. We'll see if I can pull that off, shall we? But yeah, I think we've been recording for nearly an hour now. How much of this actually ends up in the video, who's to say? Because I cut out a lot more than I thought I was going to cut out last week. Didn't cut out any content. It's just I was cutting out a lot of just gaps in words, and obviously I couldn't cut out gaps while we were watching, because otherwise it would completely desync anyone trying to watch with us. But yes. Now seems like a good space as any to wrap things up. So, any final comments you want to make?
If you've made it this far, you're my favourite person.
Oh, isn't that lovely? Well, on that note, I suppose it's time to say goodbye. So, thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you'll tune in next week. Should we tell them what we're thinking of doing for next week, or shall we leave it a fun little mystery?
I think we'll leave it a mystery because this was a last-minute swerve.
Yeah,
put it that way.
But if we end up changing it, we end up changing it. Like, we can just be like, "This is our plan, subject to change."
Well, I mean, should we move back to the original plan that we had for this week then?
Basically, we're going to do one of two things next week. It's either going to be
Sabrina from the Netflix reimagining of Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Which, honestly, looking at the amount of time we've recorded today, we probably could have done today. But, you know, hindsight's 20/20.
Yeah.
Or alternatively, you're going to have to say it because I don't know what it's called.
Wander Over Yonder.
Wander Over Yonder, which is some kind of cartoon.
Which is randomly irrelevant. It was made by Lauren Faust's husband, Craig McCracken.
Oh, right, I vaguely remember you saying that.
Yeah, so when I recommend this show to other nerds, that's something I bring up.
Mm-hmm.
He also did the Powerpuff Girls, as far as I remember.
In what context? Because I could have sworn Lauren Faust was head on that. Or was she just an animator at the time?
I think he's the main writer and Lauren Faust is the main artist.
Okay, that makes a bit more sense, because I know she was more of an artistic person before she became, like, in charge of one of the fucking multiple... big projects.
Yeah, they've got a lot of back and forth between the two of them. That even if they don't appear in the credits, essentially, then you definitely got the other's creative input.
I get you. Did they both work on what was the name of that fucking show? Blue's Imaginary Friend bullshit.
Pretty sure they did. Yeah, I know that Lauren Faust definitely did.
Yeah, I also am aware of that, but I was curious if he was also involved in it. Oh well, we'll find out sometime. We'll probably do a Google off screen and go, but yeah, that's all from us for today. Going forward, I should probably explain that our upload schedule, at least for YouTube, because I've not sorted out the audio only things yet, because it's a bit more work than nothing, just to get fucking accounts. But yeah, YouTube upload schedule going forward is going to be every Monday, probably at about 9ish. So if you keep an eye on the channel, that's when we're going to be uploading. That might, if that ever ends up changing, we'll make an announcement on the podcast. But for now, that's what it is.
Sure. When we do the live reactions later on, then that might be something we do a little bit closer to the release day.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult for me to put a video together in a day. I know there's plenty of people who can do it. It's mostly the cleaning of the audio that's a bit of a time consumer. But if we keep those episodes nice, short, and snappy, then maybe. Who knows? We'll see. But for now, guys, we appreciate you sticking through our ramblings for another damn near hour.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the first one wasn't quite this long.
Our first one was just shy of 40 minutes, if I recall.
Okay.
But yeah, appreciate for you for sticking around. Hopefully you'll tune in next week for our next episode as well. But for now, it's goodbye from me.
And it's goodbye from me.
There you go. Rick was polite this week. Aren't you happy?
Sort of.
Fair enough. Well, sorry guys, I jinxed it. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you all again next week, I hope. Toodles.
Nighty-night.